honest truth about being consistent that nobody seems to talk about is welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Hyadins, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, of course, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave everything else, and grab your pen and your paper and be prepared to take notes. In order for you to be consistent, you have to show up daily. This is a lifestyle, which means consistency is repetitive. Most importantly, in order for you to be consistent, you have to be committed and understand the responsibilities that come with it. That's a lot. So in this video, we're going to give you 3 to 5 recommendations in order for you to stay consistent instead of giving up. The first thing you have to be aware of in order for you to be consistent is choosing consistency. That is what another thing that a lot of people don't tell you to do, or what consistency actually means. In order for you to see your desired outcomes, you have to want to be committed. So if you are not sure about taking the time, the energy, the finances, educating yourself, learning, unlearning, removing, outgrowing, and growing certain people, places, and things in order for you to get the outcome that you want, you should really learn how to be mindful when making decisions. Consistency is strategic intentions. It's not a coincidence. And most importantly, when you're making intentional decisions, you have to realize that because there are only 24 hours in a day, you have to be practical about you being consistent. So for example, if your goal is to lose or gain weight or to become healthier, you have to realize what's in your control versus the things that are not. And within the 24 hours, within the time, how much energy are you investing into working out and dieting and educating yourself with certain supplements and whatever it is that you're working towards? When it comes to being consistent, a lot of people give up because they don't understand that you have to do this daily. In order for you to lose amount of weight, to gain amount of weight, to change, whether it's physically, emotionally, psychologically, consciously, subconsciously, financially, howeverly, you have to be able to do this daily. You have to be able to practice daily. Like, you have to be able to grow. You're constantly evolving. You're constantly changing. The second thing you have to realize, once you are aware of the decisions and the responsibilities and knowing exactly what it is that you want in order to be consistent, is learning to be present. A lot of times when we have goals that we've never achieved before, we see other people experience them, so we understand and have an idea on what we would want to experience for ourselves personally. But it's not until you're putting in the work, it's not until you're doing the labor, it's not until, like I said, you're educating yourself and doing what needs to be done, that you realize how long it may take for you and what is actually required of you. This is why it's really important that when you decide that you want to change in life, that you want to be consistent, you really take the time and are aware of what you're doing moving forward. If you don't feel like you want to do something, you don't have to do it. Being consistent is only challenging and difficult when you are refusing to do the work. You're refusing to make the necessary changes. You are refusing to let go of certain mindsets and behaviors and patterns and morals and etc. The third or fourth thing, let me know because I lost count of where I'm at, in order for you to be consistent is, like I said, to also be practical. If you know your goal is to lose weight within 3 months, you have to be realistic about how many days of the week, how many days of the month, how many months in the year that you're able to exercise, that you're able to work out. You have to be mindful of when you're able to take the time to go for walks or go to Pilates or sign up for a yoga class. Like, you have to be willing to now use what you have. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to use the resources that they have. You don't have to have everything out in order for you to be consistent, because the fact that you want to be consistent shows that you're going to become consistent. But if you're not willing to use the resources that you do have, being consistent is going to seem difficult. And I'm speaking from experience. What has helped me along my healing journey was to realize that if I want certain things in my life, that it's not impossible for me to experience them, but I have to be willing to use what I currently have, regardless if it was a lot or not. You comparing yourself to people who are committed to their craft and their goals doesn't change your situation, and it's not going to help you. Not just that, if you don't have the finances, if you don't have the resources, if you're not as educated or equipped, you have to go a step further and beyond. I'm not here to make the rules. Life is not fair, but you have to realize if you want it, you still have to be dedicated and committed to get it and to receive it. And you have to make room for it. I know personally when people work out and they get the body that they desire, they were willing to go to the gym. They were willing to get a personal trainer. You're on YouTube. You can look up exercises on how to lose weight, how to gain weight, how to become healthier. What foods do I need to eat in order for me to improve my diet? What nutrients do I need to start experiencing, and etc. Like, you do have to be the one to take the initiative. And learning to be consistent, honestly, is just really about wanting. If you don't want something, you're not going to sit here and learn to be practical. You're not going to sit here and take every single day for what it is. Of course, once again, when you're doing something that's unfamiliar, you're only thinking that it's so challenging and so difficult because you're not used to doing it. Like, if you are somebody who lacks discipline, because that's what consistency is about. You have to be disciplined. You have to be committed. If you lack discipline and you were never shown and taught discipline, you're going to think in the beginning when you decide to start your fitness journey, it's challenging, it's difficult. You got all these obstacles. But it's not until, like I said, you take the time to schedule going to the gym 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long, and you do it every single day, or you do it until you see a result, that you realize that you're capable of doing it. So most importantly, in order for you to be consistent, you have to be willing to challenge yourself. You have to be able to push the grain. Like, you have to be able to break through. And that's just anything in life. Like, all the trials and tribulations are also connected and contributing into you being consistent. If you're disciplined in all these other areas of your life, the thing that you actually want, you have to learn how to be disciplined as well. It's not that you're not capable, right? Because you're watching these videos, you're taking the notes, you're engaging, you're doing everything that you can. So it's just like, learning to be consistent is just knowing that you putting in the work is going to pay off. But if you don't have a why, if you're not intentional, if you really don't want it, or whatever it is that you want to do, if you really don't want to heal, if you really don't want better, that's the only time it's going to be difficult. So it's just like, we have to change the narrative of thinking that consistency has to be hard work. Because honestly speaking, if it's really hard work, why are you doing it? If it's so overwhelming, if it's so overbearing, why are you doing it? Now, when becoming consistent, because this is a routine, you have to do it for a long time, this doesn't mean that you don't pace yourself. This doesn't mean that you're not in the present moment. Like, I'm not telling you to burn yourself out. I am more so telling you, you need to have balance. So like, you have your days where you work, you have days where you have rest, you have days where you enjoy yourself. Like, I don't believe in working hard in order to get further in life, because working hard a lot of times resists you, it blocks you, and it limits you. I do believe in taking your time and being practical. So it's just like, when you do work, you work, and when you feel like resting, you rest, because you have to be able to maintain what it is that you're asking for. That's the truth about consistency, is the longevity. Can you maintain what it is that you put in work in? So if you're trying to get a house, once you get the house, that's the beginning of it. That's literally the icing of the cake. Once you get a house, now you have to worry about HOAs. Now you have to worry about your mortgage. Now you have to worry about your water. Now you have to worry about cable. Now you have to worry about your neighbors. Now you have to worry about keeping up your house. Like, that is just the surface. That is just the beginning. Same thing when you lose weight. Once you lose weight, now you have to continue to eat healthier. Now you have to continue to exercise. You have to maintain what it is that you're asking for. If you want $1 million, once you get $1 million, you don't want to be broke the next day. So now you have to continue to maintain the $1 million that you worked for. You want 1 million subscribers. You have to maintain, like, you have to be able to see it all the way through. And younger people, want things instantaneously, and they don't realize that the older generations, even though they did, you know, work stupid hours, like were had these slave-like mentalities, they did do the work, and I respect our elders. Like, never knock anybody for working a 9 to 5, because a lot of people can't work a 9 to 5 for 20, 30, 40 years. Respectfully. I'm not saying that we're supposed to work our entire lives as, you know, a millennial Gen Zer, you know, as young rich auntie status. It's two sides to a coin, but it's just like, if you're not willing to take the steps, if you're not willing to see it all the way through, like, complaining is not going to help you out. So in order for you to be consistent, you have to be intentional. You have to want to be consistent. You have to learn how to become disciplined. So if you don't know how to become disciplined, or if you never, you know, had anybody support you, educate you, and you just feel so lost and devastated, I created a 30-day consistency challenge. I'm going to link it here in the description up here at the top, as well as the description. Make sure you watch those videos. These videos are a lot longer than the videos that I'm making right now, because I'm giving you the steps, when, what, when, where, and how to do certain things, because it's very much so strategic. Like, you do need order, you do need structure. And once again, just because you have a plan, just because you have a direction, with consistency doesn't mean everything is always going to go your way. So learning how to be consistent is learning how to be adaptable, learning, like I said, when to make certain moves, why you're making certain moves, and just most importantly, being intentional about it. So make sure you guys check that out. Watch it all the way through the end. Like I said, make sure you have your pen and your paper. Let me know about this video. Let me know. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me know what it is about. Hopefully that makes more sense about this video. I said about like 10 times. Let me know about this video. Let me know what it is about this video. Which one is it? I'm not gonna edit it, but let me know what it is about this video that you learned about being consistent that you didn't know before, as well as what you do to be consistent. Thank you guys for watching this video all the way to the end. Thank you for giving a big thumbs up. Thank you for commenting down below, turning on your post notifications. I'm not gonna edit this, so you guys can see, like, this is real time, as well as follow me on all social media platforms. All my information will be down in the description box below. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions, comments, concerns. If you're not able to afford a service and a session, at my website at www.tyguidance.com. Thank you guys once again for booking your appointments. Just make sure you guys are reading your booking policies so there is no confusion, right? As well as follow me on my Instagram and my TikTok. I will be going live during the summertime, because I know that's when a lot of people are outside, okay? Until we reach our goal here on YouTube, which is going to happen at any day now. But being consistent is something that you have to do daily. You have to practice it. It is something that requires a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and most importantly, commitment. And being consistent doesn't have to look the same for everybody else, because once again, you don't have the same resources, you don't have the same knowledge and education. So don't compare yourself, don't be hard on yourself. Just be mindful. Like, if you want to do something, know that you can do it, but you have to be honest with what you're willing to do, what you're able to do right now in the moment, and what you have to do moving forward. And if you guys hear like that noise, I have my MacBook right in front of me that I need to wipe off. But that's the thing, being consistent, you have to do it every day. That's what nobody's going to tell you. Like, the older generations, they know that. They have their businesses, they've been successful. Like, even YouTube is 20 years old. 20 years is a long time to do something. So just keep that in mind, okay? Thanks for watching. Love you. Peace. Until next time.